Kirby. Welcome to Biscuits and Jam.
Hey, I like the sound of it. That's what I should have had for breakfast, okay? Biscuits and jam, honey.
Always better than a bagel.
That's true. In the South, that's a very true thing. Like, that's so true. Well said. I love it. Hey, Sid, how you doing?
I'm great. So
Great.
I'm coming to you from Birmingham. Where am I reaching you?
What? Pink Beard is repping y'all so hard. Oh my God. Have you gotten into Pink Beard yet? The guy.
No,
Oh my
no,
God. Everything he does, he's repping Birmingham. Black
really.
guy, country singer with the pink beard. You got to get into him. I'm coming from you live from Mississippi.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, not too far from you.
And not too far from Memphis, right?
Not too far from Memphis. I won't tell the people how close I am, but I'm not too far.
So that's my hometown.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see how hometown you are. Name a mall in Memphis.
A mall in Memphis. Oh gosh.
You got it. Come on.
I mean,
Or
Saddle Creek or something.
Come on, brother. Germantown. That's
okay.
great.
I had to pull that back from the memory bank.
You got it, man. You chose the best one. Saddle Creek is awesome.
So, yeah, I left there when I was 18, but my mom's still there. So I go back, as often as I can, visit her. And I love my old hometown.
240 North. I love it. Yeah. Memphis is special.
And you're born there, right?
You know what I like to tell people? Most people, I'm top in Mississippi. So most of us, we went to a Memphis hospital. But yeah, my family is born and raised in Mississippi. I was raised in Mississippi. But yeah, I was born in Memphis. I spent like a lot of we didn't move fully into Mississippi until I was like 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm from top of Mississippi. It's literally like a hop and a skip,
Right. It's a half hour up the road.
Half hour up the road. And my grandmother, most of my upbringing, my Sundays, my weekends, my rooting was in Mississippi because we were just down the road.
Yeah. So Kirby, tell me a little bit about your hometown, where you grew up. What was the house, the neighborhood where you grew up? Kind of paint a picture for me.
We grew up I grew up, like my first formative years was in a little place called Whitehaven. So I went to St. Paul and Whitehaven. I would go. There was this locally famous, I wouldn't even say locally, but if you're in the church, the Jackson family. They're some of the greatest organists that have ever walked the earth. But Barbara Jackson, I would go to piano lessons down the street and learn piano from her. But some of my best memories came from when we would drive on Sunday, 45 minutes, because we're from, my family is from a smaller town, Eudora area, going down to my grandmother's house. I grew up in a very small church where the cousin was the choir director, the cousin was the piano player, everybody. My grandmama was leading a song. Like, it was a very familial experience. A little church on the hill. And those mosquito bites, those times in Mississippi, those are just the things that when I think about my childhood, that's really what I hold closely. But yeah, I think a lot of times people assume when you grow up in Mississippi, they immediately go Delta. But Mississippi is a vast place. And the part of Mississippi that I'm from, you kind of got to go, I'm close to Memphis. And so it's not as Delta as some places in Mississippi are. But my grandmother and my mom and dad really, they're in the thick of I'm a Mississippi. They are Mississippi. Like, it's a real, and there's a difference. And so that to me is what formed me, because they carry that in how they raised us. But yeah, man, I was just a little girl singing in the church choir with her cousins and her grandmother and her aunties, and I had a pretty sweet childhood. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it was beautiful.
And you've got a lot of family around there. You're mentioning all your cousins and everything. So big family.
You know what? You think you have a big family until you go around somebody with a bigger family. Like this weekend, they did a cookout for this song called Thick and Country. My friend named Corey Lou. And when I tell you, I thought I had aunties until I kept saying, "Hi, auntie. Hi, auntie. Hi, auntie. Hi, auntie. Hi, auntie." Like, it just kept going. And I was like, you know what? I thought, because, my mom there was 9 on my dad's side. There was 5 on my mom's side, not including her. So there's 6 total. I think it's 9 on my dad. It might be 10. I'm pretty sure it's 9. So, I have plenty. But one thing I will say, Sid, is so many people have passed. And so I feel that now. Now that my grandmother passed 2 years ago, so many of the pillars and the elders and the anchors that really held our family together have gone on. And so I think that's why this record feels important to me, because I'm kind of holding on to a time past. Things have changed. Things have really changed. So I come from a pretty big family, but they get bigger. That's what I've learned. They get bigger, yeah. But I've got a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins.
We should mention the record. It's got to be very exciting. It's called Miss Black America. Congratulations on that.
No,
It's
thanks.
just about to come out as
Yeah,
we're talking right now.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that title and,
Wow.
what that means to you and how you landed on that.
Well, Miss Black America is short for Mississippi Black America. And when I first started writing this record, I had this whole idea like, oh, this is a political record. Like, and I played it for somebody and they said, honey, this ain't political. This is as familial and family oriented as you can get. And really, that's what it is. It's about my personal Mississippi experience. I think when people think of Mississippi, they go to the movies and they think, they go back into a times past. I can't generalize Mississippi and say it's one thing or another. I can only talk about what my Mississippi experience is. And so I have my dad talking on the record. I've got my aunt talking on the record. I've got my parents on Jump the Broom. I've got them talking about, being married for 48 years, going to be 49 this year. So it's just, if you have never been to a family reunion, or you haven't been down south, or you just want to put on a record that makes you feel like that warm southern hug that your grandmother would give you, this is what that record should feel like. And I also want to, even though the title says Mississippi Black America, that's because to be honest about the South is to know that depending on your color, your experience in the South is different. But one thing I will say is that coming back to Mississippi to make the art for this record, because we shot every photo, every video, um, Mississippi or Millington at this point. We are not shooting. We ain't shooting outside of Brooklyn and saying we're in Mississippi. We came home to the dirt, to the mosquito. I said, I want the bites. I got the bites all up my leg. The chigger bites. I earned my stripes this summer. I promise you, Sid. I got them all on me. I said, we're shooting this in the humidity down here and using artists and photographers down here to really pull the record together. But I feel like I say all that to say, coming down here to do this record has really healed the part of me that likes to think of Mississippi in this box of saying, well, we're not welcomed. I could not have done this record if people who did not look like me did not open their arms and say, I got a location I want you to shoot at. Do it for free. I could not have done this record if I didn't have this man who I don't think he's never even met me, who lets me shoot on his land. He's got acres and acres of land around me. He says, come on, just shoot. I'm not going to charge you anything. I've had that happen to me so many times for people who do not look like me. And I say that to say, for people who think about Mississippi and they think, oh, I'm not safe. Oh, people are just going to treat me bad. There's good and bad people everywhere. But I dare I say, in these times, we got some really good ones in all colors in Mississippi. And I think Mississippi deserves a second chance in that narrative. We got a bloody history, and that blood is still very much here. But there's some people that are willing to be a part of a much better future. And I've witnessed that firsthand by coming back and shooting down here, because at first I was kind of scared to do it.
Well, that's beautiful to hear that, and there's some beautiful images that I've seen that came out of those shoots, and I mean, but you're in the back of a pickup truck and wearing these beautiful gowns and yeah, it's I love that it's so connected to where you've come from, and it seems like it seems like even as you were making the record that, maybe you didn't even fully realize how much your home was gonna be a kind of a star character in it, right?
Yeah, that's good, Sid. I did not. Because, and I say this all the time, when you are I say black because I am, and that's my experience. When you grow up in Mississippi, a lot of times people make you feel like if you want to be somebody, you got to go. And there's a truth to that because for some reason, unfortunately, there is a lack of resources. There is somewhat of a glass ceiling. But when I came home, I was just reminded and just shedding all these types of, oh, I can't be here too long, blah, blah, blah. And I just allowed myself to kind of receive the love, the simplicity of Mississippi. And I just said, oh my gosh, you moved to New York, you moved to LA, but you miss the root of what it's all about, which is just loving your family and just knowing that at the end of the day, you just got some people around you that care. And where I have the most of that is here. So I didn't even realize like how much I never dreamed I'd have my daddy talking on the record. My dad he's not that guy, but like it just started to pour out of me how much I wanted to share the beauty of this place. Um, with people. And I think when you lose somebody, that happens. My grandma passed 2 years ago, and I'm still trying to find archivals and things that I've recorded just of her voice. And so I do feel very led to archive and have tangibles of these people that are around me. Because I think there's a Southern, I don't know if you've heard this before, but they say that the Southern accent is dying. People don't even,
I have heard that.
you heard that,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so I keep pressing. And people who are really true to form, they don't want to be on camera. They don't want, they just want to live their simple life. Don't put a camera in front of me. I'm not trying to be on TikTok. They just want to be, themselves and not that no one, they're private people. But I'm trying my best to get everyone, my uncles and aunts, talk in front of this camera because I don't think they realize they're gems, man, and they're not the
Yeah.
type of people that are here and that have made these towns special. They don't duplicate them like this. I think that they are at generations past, and so I'm just trying my best to like gather. I'm like, what is it? What's that movie when he tries to get all five stones? What is it? Avengers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
trying to
know.
get, listen, you don't watch Avengers neither, but I'm trying to get my 5 stones, Infinity Stones. Yes, my Southern Infinity Stones on my hand, to archive these heroes to me, because that's what they are.
What was your grandmother's name?
Oh, Cora
Hmm.
White. Yeah, she
Hmm.
was something else. A person that never met a stranger. She was a midwife. So I recently, while I was back home during Black History Month, she was one of the first midwives in DeSoto County. Because oftentimes Black women, of course, they can get to hospital to birth babies, and so many people. When she was alive, we would experience this, and my mother even more. They would come up and be like, "Yo, mama birthed me. Miss Cora, you know what I'm saying?" And so it's such an honorable thing. They have her, I think they still have her book, of the names of babies that she's birthed. So, yeah, my grandmother was very, she was sweet. She wasn't no cookie cooking grandma. She was a pistol carrying grandma. She was a
She was
tough grandma.
tough.
She
Yeah.
was tough, baby. She was tough. She could kill a snake. But she was a really special, strong woman. And her not being here has a really you don't know what can really what a whole is until you lose the matriarch of your family. And so this
Hmm.
this album has at least allowed me to think about her in a fond way, because I'm trying to make up for the things I didn't get to film and do with her, trying my best to do that with my parents, my uncles and aunts, because you know I, I didn't film enough with her.
Well, it's kind of a tribute to her.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, and she's listening to it somewhere.
Hey, come on there in that heavenly choir. She's a good soprano too. Now I like it. Singing down somewhere.
So, Kirby, we're talking a lot about family, and your given name is Kirby Dockery, right?
Ooh, see, you gonna put my social security up next. Yes, that's me. That's my name for real. That's it. Kirby Dockery. Yeah.
Well, so that's a last name that has a lot of history in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a famous plantation, and I think it's on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's often cited as a place where the blues was born, which I don't think you can put that to any particular place, but it comes up a lot. Uh, Tell me about your relationship to that name?
It's something that my Eudora, where we're from, is probably what, hour 45 from Cleveland. There, I was just talking about it to a lady, Francesca, earlier. I said I wish I knew how to. I don't know how I could directly trace, right? Like, how will I be able to find if my ancestors like passed through? Like, how, I can't directly say like there I have written proof like this is the blah 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 blah. Um, but it's so close to home. It's such a, like, for me, I just went there. I think if it was a Dockery Farms in Georgia, I would have been like, okay, well, that's cool. But a blues plantation, an hour 45 from where my folks is from. Now, my daddy said something about somebody's last name was Covington, and when they started working at the farm, I think they changed it to the Dockery. It's a tricky. I don't know. No one around me. I think maybe my uncle who had passed might have been able to tell me more, but no one around me is able to give me a direct account. But what I will tell you, it has informed, whether it be because I'm adjacent to or directly possibly connected to in my bloodline. It has informed me and confirmed why I am so drawn to a sound in a way that I think no Grammy, no hit, no anything could. Because I feel like this journey is always so much about, am I supposed to be doing this? Is this who am I doing this right? And I think when I went to Cleveland that last time, and mind you, the people have been, Bill Dockery has been, not Bill Dockery, his name is Bill. I actually don't know Bill's last name, but Bill, who runs the Dockery Farms right now, has been so kind. I even met one of the daughters. One of the daughters was at the home. I think her father is, oh God, her father is one of the Dockery men that was running the plantation. I believe she said father, not great grandfather. We'll see. But when you were on that land, when I was on that land personally, I couldn't help but feel like this is my why. This is my why. It would be great to have a paper to say this is the exact why my name is here, but it's just so close to home and it's so close to who I naturally am. It just, for me, confirmed why I love this music, why I love soul music, why I've never been able to shake it. I try to write pop, and it sounds like if you don't take this beat off and put some clapping and some stomping and some harmony, like, what are you doing? Like, I have demos of me trying to do the other thing, and it's almost as if those who came before me were saying, stop. No one needs to hear this. And so for me, just being on the grounds and having them, the people that, running now, be so kind and so open to me telling my story and being there, it just was full circle. I came there and shot with my dad in front of the gas station, and he showed the Mr. Bill that works there now. He was like, showing us where the juke joint used to be on the land. I mean, you just feel something there. Anytime you really drive to Cleveland, Mississippi, and go through Clarksdale, because you got to go through Clarksdale to get to Cleveland. The air shifts. The air shifts. It's something about going down those roads long enough, and I don't even think you're cognizant of it, but the air and the frequency, and you can tell that you are in a different world. And I just think, for me, some people probably go there and feel like an outsider. And when I'm there, my identity was confirmed. And so I just don't challenge it, and I just accept that as like, maybe this is some sprinkle of a God confirmation of like, girl, I know you don't sing soul because it's popular. You sing it because it's in you. And it's always been in my spirit. It's always been my heart. If it's really in my bloodline, honey, that would just be a bonus. But it's in my name.
Yeah, and you really feel it.
I do. And I don't, yeah, and you can't, have you been to Mississippi before, Sid? I'm sure you have. But
Oh, sure. Yeah.
how far down you been?
I've spent a fair amount of time down around Clarksdale and that part of the world.
So you know what I mean. You just feel it when you're down there, man. And for me, it does something to me every time. My first time going down there several years ago, I've had 3 experiences. The first time I went down there, I was just giddy. I was, oh my God, my last name is this and this. And then it hit me, and I was grieved, and saddened. And then I think the third time that I went down there was when we shot for demand and for this rollout. And I got in kudzu for the first time. I ain't never been that deep in
I
the.
saw that.
I
Yeah.
mean, man, I said, first of all, it's a lake behind us, so the snakes couldn't have been too far. I said, Lord, I just thank you for keeping me. But that time I felt empowered, and just to meet, I even meet someone who kind of really knows more of the history and able to talk to her, and she was kind, and I showed her the music. I mean, it's just, you just can't but feel humbled to be on that ground, and in that humility is a bit of sadness, but you try to transform. Truly, what the blues is you transform that pain into something beautiful and into the music. So I just want to answer the call.
Kirby, I want to ask you about another really special place, and that's Stax.
You tickle my heart.
So, this is one of the most, I don't know, important places in the history of music in this country, is Stax Records. And you studied at Stax Music Academy, which is adjacent to Stax Records. And it's an incredible organization. And they have kind of after school programs and different sorts of programs to try and find really talented young musicians. And yeah, tell me about your experience there. What was a highlight of your time at Stax
I will
Academy?
tell you my highlight that changed my life. Bootsy Collins. I remember like yesterday I had an Ed Hardy hoodie on, and like we were like, Bootsy, they told us Bootsy's coming, Bootsy coming, Bootsy coming. And he walks in, man, with his wife and his hat, and he's so tall, and like he just walked in with like I think that's the first time the funk got on me, because before then I would have been soul. But honey, he just, and I think the shirt had just all types of blue and silver glitter. I was like, where do you even get a t-shirt like this and a hat like this? But it was just stardom, for me. And I think he's, Bootsy has so influenced me. But that had to be one of my top 3 moments at Stax. My second moment was meeting, I didn't even get to meet him. I was working at Stax Museum, and Isaac Hayes walked through the museum, and he had on all white. And I said, listen, I didn't know angels sang soul, but when I tell you that man walked through, and I was just like, do y'all not know who you are? Like, you're just walking through casually and he was with somebody else that was really famous too. I can't think of it right now. But man, like, I think having those 2 experiences at a young age, like just having funkadelic, just Bootsy representing funk that close to you, Isaac Hayes coming that close to you, and you can just feel, I don't know, when I see those type of people, God rest, Isaac Hayes, you just can feel the history and like he stood so empowered to me. And I just think seeing them come back and honor that land, and us as kids, man, we were like 18, like we were kids, but they just made the time to just show up and just pour into us. I think there's a picture. I got to ask Tim Sampson, who runs marketing at Stax, but I think he has a picture of me in the room when Bootsy was there. I need to find it. But I think that, to me, that's when I saw how like soul and like funk, you don't, and which is usually why I wear my hair big, you just have to embrace the loudness of that genre. You just gotta own it. And even on a summer, because I think it was a summer when Bootsy came, even Isaac wearing, that was for sure summer when he had on all white, honey. You a brave soul to wear white in a Memphis summer at any time, because you're gonna be 98, 100 degrees plus. You know what I'm saying? I would have sweated through that thing. But that level of boldness and audacity, and I know the kids say aura, I don't even like that word, but they just embodied it. And I just love when you can see an artist and they come in unapologetically looking and feeling like their music. And they were also kind. Be kind too. They weren't above. They talked to us. So yeah, where else in the world? Where else in the world?
Nowhere.
But Stax. Nowhere. Exactly. I was waiting for that, Sid. There's nowhere. That's nowhere.
Well, I think you need to go back there and teach one day.
What? No, I do. And I go back. I say teach like that because God is still giving me patience. That's something I got to work on. But what I am doing, and quarterly, that's been my goal this year, or semi-annually, just bringing in people to speak to the kids. We had Omar Grant, who used to be the co-president of Rock Nation Label, a huge A&R. He A&R'd Rihanna's record, DJ Mester, Big Sean. He just came and spoke to the kids in June. Hopefully I'm going to have a couple more producers come before the year is out. And, I kept thinking to myself, so many of my friends have Grammys, and they're just in my idea, they've hit a lot of the markers that I still dream of hitting. And I was kind of like saying, oh, I'm not going to come back until, I can kind of stand on all the dreams that I've wanted for myself coming true. But God really was like, hey, at this point now, you use your resources. My publisher, Big John Platt, he didn't know he was going to be my publisher. I didn't know he was going to be my publisher. He came to speak at Stax when I was a senior in high school. I had no idea when I finally would sign my publishing deal, 8 years later, it would be Rock Nation and Warner Chappell, and I would be able to be like, you don't remember me, but I came up to you with a stack of songs, and you just explaining to me what publishing was changed my life. That's what that school has done. And when I rep Stax, when I sing it at the top of my lungs, when I say Stax loudly, it's because it literally changed. I was driving from Mississippi coming to Memphis after school program, and they exposed me to so many things, prepared me for Berkeley, blessed me to be connected with my vocal teacher that helped me for my audition at Berkeley. It just gave me a network that I didn't have. Because Mississippi, we got the talent, but even more so, Memphis has more resources. You know what I'm saying? So it just Stax changed my life.
Kirby, we got to talk about food for a minute, because this is Biscuits and Jam. You grew up in this pretty big family, and especially when you factor in all the cousins. Who was doing all the cooking in your house?
I'm gonna give people their flowers per their dish. Okay, the sweet potato pie dish goes to my grandmother. It is hitting on her sweet potato pie. My mother's, now mind you, we're vegetarians now. My sister's a vegan, so when we say chicken and dressing, it ain't no chicken. But my mother's dressing is hands down the best dressing. To me, I love my mother's dressing. I would like to give myself, people like to talk about, veganism, blah, 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 but we don't do chicken. I personally don't do chicken just because of hormones and stuff, but I have mastered a Southern fried vegan chicken that I think it could stand with the best of them. The best chicken drumstick. I'm gonna own it, Sid. Yeah. I'm gonna own it. Yeah, I'm gonna own it. So yeah, that we've got dishes, that are good in our family. But my sister is a great baker. Man, she makes a mean lemon pound cake. Man, but I will tell you this, Sid. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We're a cooking family. But there's some cooking families. We cook, and I think our normal cooking is probably a 10, because you can't even basic cook in the South and then not just be good. You gotta be, even your baseline has to be 10s across the board. But there's some people I think that really go there's a side, my aunt's in-laws. I mean, I think they have. When they cook, it just be pans of just ribs, and just I said, how many animals were harmed? There's not weren't any many animals. It's how many animals were harmed. So there's some families, they got smokers. Oh, but I'm gonna tell you what I really love. Rest in peace to my Uncle Elroy. And I think he would have had the best if he was here and he pushed it. He would have really put anybody's catfish to shame. But I loved my Uncle Elroy's cooking. And let me shout you out even more. This is you ready
Uncle
for some
Elroy,
Mississippi stuff? Uncle Elroy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go real Mississippi on you. Rest in peace to his soul. He used to throw, and his son is doing it now, my cousin, a wildlife game night. So on my dad's side of the family, they're hunters, honey. When you see me holding a rifle, that was my cousin's rifle. And so the frog, the rabbit, the deer, baby, the chipmunk, I don't know what else they got down there. All the wildness that they hunt, that's where you go. And he He used to have the hogs. He don't do it anymore. His son doesn't do it. But my uncle had the hog pen, and they was selling to me. But he was known really in Eudora, just for having really excellent meat. And the wildlife game night was his thing, and people would come all over in the back of his house. He had a little house set up, honey, and they would come, and he would no charge. You want to pay money, pay, but he's not charging you. And people come to eat the wildlife game of the night. I think they had one about a month ago, honey. I wasn't able to attend, and I wouldn't have been able to eat. But they throw down. They throw down. Uncle Elroy's wild.
You can appreciate it though. It sounds
Oh,
like.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. I seen a frog outside the other day. I said, honey, I got a place for you. A place for you, and it's on the plate. But yeah, they really love I love, as even though I'm not embedded in that much, with the hunting and all of that, I just love how they're so true to form. They're about it, man. The deer, the rabbit, they're just authentic, and you can't do anything, but respect that.
What about like a garden? Did you guys grow up with a big garden?
My dad keeps saying, Sid, he really wants to be, he keeps saying if I could do it over again, because trucking is a hard industry. It's a hard industry. To find good, transportation is just tough. But he said if he could do it all again, he'd be an American farmer. Because I think he would love to just, do soybeans and corn. That's what he would want to do. I can't grow a leaf. I don't have a green thumb. That is not my thing. She's not a garden girl. My uncle he loves, like, even right now I think he's got tomatoes. He's doing like little things like that. But we didn't do, like, I didn't do, I don't have the green thumb. But my daddy always says that if he could redo it, he would go into farming.
So it's like peak summer right now, tomato season.
Yeah.
What's your idea of the perfect summer sandwich?
Oh, you know what I love right now? I eat a vegan tempeh. Don't judge me. Avocado. I'm a simple girl. Yeah, it's vegan tempeh. That's my protein. Avocado, some garlic aioli on some fresh sourdough. That's my sandwich. I love that. And I'm a breakfast sandwich girl. I'm a breakfast girly. So listen, throw me some egg, a little vegan cheese, and a little vegetarian bacon on a biscuit or some bagel. I do sneak, how I sneak my biscuits in every once in a while if I just need a real quick fix for a biscuit, but I can't whip one up or nothing like that. I don't know if people know that Chick-fil-A even does this. I'll just order the Chick-fil-A biscuit. You can get a Chick-fil-A biscuit without getting the chicken and the sausage. Just anytime I need like my little fix real quick, I'm like, oh, I need a biscuit. But yeah, that would be my sandwich. I love the little the TTLA, and I love a good breakfast sandwich. But we've had to get creative as a family because my sister has been vegan for about 11 years. We learned early on that we really couldn't do a lot of the hormones that was in chicken and dairy as Black women. And so we've tried our best to pivot from that. But every now and then, honey, the cow calls me, and I I say, moo moo. Okay, I'm gonna answer you today.
I love the Chick-fil-A. You just got to cave into that every now and
Yeah,
then.
man. That's a little bit. I ain't never hurt nobody.
All right, Kirby. Well, let's talk about the record just a little bit more, and talk about your music. You have a really distinct sound, and I mean, it's really, it's not like anybody else that I can think of. Although I have heard, I hear a little staple singers sometimes.
Come on, that's just
and
queen.
I've got to think that they must have been playing in your house at one point.
That what that's somebody that, now mind you, I come from a Johnny Taylor house. My mama really wasn't playing the staple singers. A lot of that came from my Stax, like high school. I really got into a lot of Otis and Rufus Thomas and Carla Thomas, Eddie Floyd. Sax taught me. My mother was like, she's kind of an oldies girl, but she loves her like Anita. She was like Anita Baker. She was like, and my mama loves gospel. My daddy is a bluesman. Johnny Taylor, Bobby Rush. Denise LaSalle, Albert King, like that's what my dad is on, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I feel like the staple singers, Mavis, oh my gosh. If Queen Mavis, any day, anytime, I can just get her to say ooh on a record or just hold her hand, like she's definitely a huge, the staple singers are a very, very huge influence on me.
Last night I was playing one of your songs in at home in the kitchen, and it's called "Love by You." This is an older song of
Ah,
yours,
yeah.
and my daughter walked in, and she said, "What is this?" And I said, well, it's a singer named Kirby that I'm interviewing tomorrow, and
Yeah.
said, "What do you think of it?" And she's kind of listened for a minute. She said, it sounds to me like a song that you might dance to at your wedding."
Oh, how old is she?
She's 18.
Oh, I
And
love it.
but it does. It really
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
It's a great song, and
yeah,
talk to me about that one and what it's kind of meant to
yeah.
you on your journey.
Man, that song has really made a life of its own. I have to kind of go back to like where I was. I wrote that song in my parents' house. I actually keep forgetting that I was living in LA at the time, but I wrote it during I believe that was like a Christmas holiday. I had the melody and stuff, and then I came back to LA and figured it out with Jeff Giddy, incredible producer, one of the best guitar players in the world. And he just fleshed it out for me. Um, I think I was going through such a time because I had freshly lost my first love, who was killed in a car accident, and a lot of times when people they hear that line, "Somebody without someone is no one at all," and they, "Oh, I can never say that. I can never say that." And I'm like, I get it. But I think also like grief brings that type of raw honesty because I tell you the truth. When your last day is here, you do not want to be alone. And so the truth is, I don't care if it's your mother, your dog, your cat, baby, a nurse, somebody without someone, it's impossible for you to walk this earth and it not be one person if you've lived decently to even a dog. If you petted a dog once, somebody's going to want to come back to you and say, I received the love that you gave me. So I really do stand on that line because it came from a place of realizing through death that nothing shows you what really matters until the person that you wish you could call is not there. And so I think a lot of times people hear that line and they're kind of scared about it, but that song just came from a place of really just rawly desiring to know, can I be loved? Can I truly be loved? And I think, I mean, honestly, in retrospect, I was almost asking it to a person, because he wasn't even on this earth, who couldn't even answer that. So I think that's why that song just kind of hits people and connects people. But I look forward to being in love again to a point where I can just write an album of love songs because I just love how people feel when they listen to it. I understand that songs like "The Man" and all those other things that are real raw and true to what people might be experiencing. That's not a song you can sometimes casually put on, but "Love by You," I think if you're in love or you want to be in love or you ever have been loved to any capacity, it just feels safe. And I like this idea. I like the idea of people putting on my music and thinking of, whether it be a wedding dance, whether it be a soft or tender gaze, some sense of like safety and love. I love just being able to be the soundtrack to that. And I want to be able to offer people more music that makes them feel like that. And I think the more I feel like that, I'll be able to write it. And I got to live it 'cause I ain't going to fake it.
Well, it's a beautiful song, and it clearly has an impact on people. And I was looking at some of the comments that people have left on that song.
What they say?
Oh, they just love it. I mean, they just, I think it just kind of transports you somewhere else. And I do think you've somehow struck a chord that is, it's just very universal.
I like that.
That's a song from almost, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, right?
Man, tell me about it. Yeah, but in the world of TikTok, honey, everything has a new life. Listen, I don't care if I wrote it as a kid. I wrote this song when I was 3. I would like y'all to hear it now. And TikTok says, I'm gonna blow it up for you and change that 3-year-old's life. Like, it's just there's no rules. See, there's no rules.
Well, you have a new album that's out,
Yeah.
and again, it's Miss Black America,
I
Mississippi
like how you
Black
say it,
America.
Sid. I like how you say it. With that Alabama accent.
So you've got it. There's a song on there that jumped out at me.
What?
And there's so many. We can't talk about them all, but there's one that I loved that's called "My People."
Come on, that's the Staple Singers one, right?
Well, it
That's
kind
your
of is.
Yeah,
It
that's
kind
the
of
Staple
is,
Singers
and
one.
it's got this sort of happy, upbeat feel to it, and there's also kind of some fun, food references in there.
Come on, love you like the chicken love grease, right? Yeah. Don't roast my chicken. Yeah.
I love you like a soul food place.
Yeah.
Talk to me
Come
about that
on.
song.
Oh man, I love you like my granny gold teeth. My grandma used to have like a slither gold right here, man. She was something else. She had a little piece of gold. Yeah, man, that song to me, which is why it's not when I say my people, I want people to put that on and feel like it's just really about Southern people. It's about my Black people, white people. Like, it's about my Mississippi community, which is diverse, which is beautiful, which is really rooted in the goodness of people. I had a conversation with a young lady earlier, and I was telling her what I really appreciate about my dad saying on the album that Mississippi has. He said Black and white people get along quite well in Mississippi. Some of them don't. And I think that's just a takeaway that I want people to listen to this record overall and not feel like you should generalize Mississippi as a place that, oh, it's racist. Oh, you can't come to certain places during sundown. Hey. There is good people and there's bad people. And good is not synonymous with one race. Bad is not synonymous with one race. And I think coming back home to make this record has reminded me that you gotta look past the color and go straight to character. And so when I sing my people, I love the way you wear your hair. I love the style of clothes you wear. I love you. I love my people. You got the sauce and recipe. Look how they stare. They can't compete. I love it. I love it. Like, I really wanted to shout out all the counties in the bridge, but I didn't have time to do it. But man, like, I wanted to feel like you're driving down Mississippi in a small town. You're driving through Hernando. You're driving down Coldwater, Senatobia, and like you're just feeling the warmth and the kindness. Let me tell you, I have blind called at so many people. I've got a man, I'm going to shout him out in this interview. He might read it or listen. His name is Umberto. He owns the governor's mansion in Clarksdale now. I blind called the lady that now runs the Croutrere mansion in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Clarksdale was, I believe, he was started by John Clark, and the Croutrere family built that mansion and all of that. I blind called her and said, I'm trying to do a shoot. Your mansion is perfect. What do you think? Hey, come on down. I want to meet you. Blah, 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 blah. I come on down. I meet her. She says, here, I want you to meet the mayor. You want to shoot over there? Let me call somebody. That, when I sing my people, that is what you get when you come to Mississippi. Majority of the time, you get a safeness, you get a warmth. If you treat people, because see what it is, I think a lot of people in Mississippi, they got discernment. If they feel iffy about you, you gonna get a sweet hello and a quick goodbye. But if they feel good about you, it really is an arms wide open place. And I think that's why a lot of people are moving here. Too many of them. I really kind of want them to slow down, because we've got to move further in the Delta because there's too many people moving. But it's just, when you hear my people, I've lived and seen that it's some of the sweetest people and caring people. The I don't want anything from you type of people are here. And I think that is a side of Mississippi that I want people to close their eyes. Don't forget the past. We got a bloody past. That is true. But no less true is there are some people here who do not look like me, not my color, white people, black people, brown people, that are just genuinely kind. And I attribute a lot of that to the environment, and to the frequency that is in this city, the something in the humidity. I don't know what it is in this state, but there's just a willingness and a safeness here that if you're good people, we gonna be good to you. And that's my people. And that's not color, that's character.
What's your plan with this record, and particularly when it comes to Memphis and Mississippi? Do you have anything on the horizon in terms of dates or shows you're doing that are going to be close to home?
Man, my dream, I want to do a show at Ground Zero. We're working on it. I don't have anything set yet, but I'll just tell you my dream. I really want to do a show at Ground Zero.
In Clarksdale.
In
Yeah.
Clarksdale, yeah, I really would love to do that. I think I've got to grow and get bigger, but my biggest dream, is I want to do a Snowden Amphitheater show here. They got Teddy Swims coming, I think, in the next week or so, or 2 weeks or so. So when I give me a couple years, I feel like I'll be able to do that proper. But I think my thing is, like, I just want to give back. Right now, my focus is just make sure that I'm utilizing the talent. So just making sure that the artists that I work with, the photographers, the cinematographers, makeup artists, really using the locals and making sure that I'm giving opportunity and putting payroll and putting money into the economy, by giving people opportunity to work on the project. And I mean, I would love to do shows. My whole band, they're called the Bluff City Boys, and they're so ready. They're just waiting for me to say the date. And so I think once we get this record probably closer to top of August, I'll be able to kind of plan for like a September show. But I just want to do it big. I'm really big on like just, oh man, I just want it to be done proper. But also, like, I think it goes back to the Stax thing. You gotta do what you can where you are. And so I think it's just, I'd be remiss if I just let the year go by and I didn't, do something musically live here. So hopefully we can do something in Memphis and in North Mississippi or Clarksdale, Cleveland.
It's going to happen for sure.
Thanks, Sid.
It's
I received that in my face.
it's going to happen.
Thank you.
Who's the person in your family who's most excited about this record?
My daddy, yeah, he is. He's ready. This man, I didn't think he was a star, right? I thought my daddy was gonna be very camera shy. He's asking me when we're filming next.
Well, he's on there, so his voice.
And he wants to be on there more. Yeah, he's ready, man. I didn't know that my daddy was gonna be that guy. He doesn't know that the algorithm is one of the things where, like, if you click on one video, like, it's gonna start feeding you. So every day, because of course I'm back home. I live in Brooklyn, but I'm here until August finishing the record. So when he comes home, he's like, another one of your videos popped up today. And I'm like, Daddy, it's because you clicked on one. The algorithm is going to keep eating you. So he's like finding old songs from like Sis. Like he's tapped in. But for me, this is my Grammy. This is my Grammy. Being able to like make this record and have him really see what it is that I do. My mom has always been with me on shoots. And, she's been in the thick of it since I was Miss Preteen Memphis at 8 years old, you know what I'm saying? But my dad is just now like, oh, okay, this is how this works. So, honey, as long as I go viral on Facebook, I'm a star. As long as I got some Facebook posts that he can share and tell his brother about, I'm doing well. So that he's excited and he's my biggest fan.
I don't know if you've gotten him on TikTok yet, but
oh my gosh, I have.
You've got 1 million and something followers on TikTok, so
I have, honey. They were very kind to my daddy. So yeah, he's got more coming.
Well, Kirby, I just have one more question for you.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be Southern?
Man, it's the best. What does it mean to be Southern? The South has given me my value system. It means speaking before being spoken to. It means when I say yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am, this isn't me. It's just showing my respect. It means, oh, man, don't give me no unsweetened tea. It means, oh, man, it means when I let you in, you try to make a left turn and I stop. I want to see a little wave. You know, it's just little it's little protocols. I just think for me it has given me this sense of nobody is really a stranger. You know, it is our job. For me, I love it. It's just it's like welcome. It's taught me how to welcome strangers, hospitality. We had a shoot yesterday, and the people were thanking us about being hospitable. It's, do you need some water? Can I feed you? Can I fix you a plate? It's these types of things that I hold on to that made me feel safe and loved and empowered. I think it's something so empowering about being able to be hospitable and make a person feel like you're welcome here, you're home. And I take it everywhere I go. If I'm in Brooklyn, I'm even more countryer than I am down here because I want y'all to know I am not from here. Ask me where I'm from, honey, because it's not the East Coast. It's not the West Coast. So I take it with me proudly. I love Mississippi. I love the South. And it's just, for me, especially with my grandmother being gone, one thing I know about grandmother, we take her to the doctor's office wherever we're going. Hey, baby, how you doing? Wait, what's your last name? It's like, grandma, do we have to know everybody? But that's what this culture is. And it's something to not be ashamed of. It's something to claim and claim loudly. So I'm forever Southern and can't wait till I can buy my acres, honey, and build that big old house. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm planning it here.
I see that in your future, Kirby.
Oh, thank you, Sid.
Well, listen, congrats on the album. And I know you got to be so excited to get it out there and share it with everyone. And yeah, congrats on everything. And thanks for being on Biscuits and Jam.
Biscuits and Jam, honey. That's my type of jam. I like it.